Hello, Tech Whiz, and welcome to your deck review. For those of you joining us for the first time on YouTube, this is a series where I'm, Aldorius Houndington, look at your deck's weird little PP and tell you how to uncurve it. Your PP is your premise and your practicum. Your premise is the idea behind your deck. It's what it does in a perfect world. It's what it does in the dream you had before building it furiously at 1 a.m. Your practicum is all the draft chaff you put in it. It's your 99 and whether or not it supports your idea. So we're going to start with this person's idea, if that can work at the bracket they're at, and then we'll look at what they actually put in the deck. So I've read the primer. I'm going to skim it now because it's not crazy long, but it's long enough that I don't want to, I'm thinking of like audible.com, narrate the entire thing. So we want to play Obeka. We want to win with multiple upkeeps. The problem is we're playing at bracket 4, and most of our good cards are 5 or more mana, which we don't really have time to get to and cast multiple of in bracket 4. I'm very sympathetic to that plan. So the first issue on the premise level that I want to call out is you talk about if we're not able to win with stuff like Court of Embereth, which I think very, very good way to try to win with Obeka, we are going to try to win with alternative win cons like mechanized production or revel in riches. Revel in riches is crazy. People have that's like, we got a really tough soccer game this weekend, but if our striker gets hurt, we're just going to hope they kick it into their own goal. So this one I would cut instantly. For mechanized production, you don't necessarily have to cut it. I do think you should, but if you don't cut it, you need to reframe it as this is not an alternative win con, because what you have with Obeka is what many commander decks have and is described in the business world as like a key executive risk. Everything you can do to win requires your commander to resolve and then do its thing correctly. And if any part of that plan goes wrong, falls apart. Your backup, like the thing you pivot to, should be something that works if if the bad thing happens to your key executive. And mechanized production is like they have to not look at us for 8 turns. If we're at a table that's playing powerful enough magic, even if they don't stop you, they're probably just winning in front of you. So if you keep this in the deck, you should keep it in the deck as this is one of my primary win conditions. Like if we look at mechanized production versus Court of Embereth, it's not plan A, plan B. It's plan A 2 different ways, which to some degree is okay because it's a singleton format. You're going to have to bring some redundancy. But like you want to think about, okay, how many upkeeps do I usually need to win with Embereth? How many upkeeps do I need to win with mechanized production? How many upkeeps do I need to win, with any of these things? Like subversion, I think, is one of your main win cons that I think you should cut, and you should just have mechanized production be that main one. Because we need 8 to win with mechanized production. We need 25 to win with subversion. We need so many. We need an incredible number. Like Embereth will count up really quickly. If our deck is really expensive, Twilight Prophet can probably get there on the order of 5 to 10 upkeeps. But like subversion, holy fuck. Holy fuck. It's a really cute card. It's probably a really underplayed card. This belongs in bracket 2. So I would dump Subversion. I would dump Revel in Riches instantly. Alexios is like the perfect backup plan. Totally self-contained. Will do a lot of damage. You don't have to invest any synergy in the rest of the deck to try to make him work. He is a phenomenal like fire extinguisher behind glass. So then current issues, we don't have consistent ramp. So let's go and look at your ramp. Let's just move into the practicum section. Protection, we have pump. All right, ramp. Not true, but is a very, very cute card. Not true. Again, ramp, like for what we want to think about with ramp, the purpose of ramp is to get you to the mana value you need to be at to try to win the game. If you have 7 mana, you can already cast all the shit you needed to cast to try to win the game. So not meaningful ramp. I would class this as too slow because I don't think we're playing early creatures. You talked about having an aversion to getting hit. You talked about needing to get Obeka out and protecting her. So if you have just like a ton of 1 and 2 drops that you're cool with swinging early, great. Otherwise, this isn't ramp until we have Obeka, which means we're already at 4 to 5 mana. Felbar Stone's fine. Generous Plunder is fine. I feel like this is good. This one just does it. Just does the thing. Grim Hireling, nope. This is again great card, makes a lot of treasures. doesn't make us money until we already have the mana to cast the shit that's important. We want stuff that is going to get us to this mana value, not make us a lot of money once we're already there. Very cute. I'll try to let you keep this one. We already talked about this. Unfortunately, banger card. Nope, same problem. Good card. Will give you access to some mana, but it's like depending on the meta of your local play group, maybe black and green are predominant are like common enough that this can count as an evasion piece. So if you're primarily counting it as evasion, right, it should not be in the ramp budget. Like you shouldn't think of it as like, wow, what a great ramp piece this is, because we're probably not using this until we already have Obeka. Cute as hell. You can probably cut this, but you might be able to get away with not cutting it. I don't like that it's sorcery speed. If this was an instant, it would not only be a way better card, but I would be comfortable with you having it. Truly, truly terrible. We got to talk about this for sure. Toxic Deluge you can keep. Soul Shatter you can keep. Not really interaction. I think this is connected to, you talked about, oh, I have this idea for a big pivot I could do, which is to move to a treasure deck. I think you should build that deck separately and make that your bracket 2 Obeka deck, and then get rid of all the treasure bullshit in this deck. It's just distracting you. This guy's not good enough as interaction. He's not good enough as a win condition. We're trying to win through other shit than combat damage. Combat damage is just a vehicle for us to get to upkeeps, so cut him immediately. This hurts you pretty bad, and I don't think it has to. But maybe you can have one of these. I don't like that 3 of our board wipes are always going to be symmetrical. Obeka's never going to have the toughness to survive Blasphemous Act. We're never going to be phasing her out for like Damnation or Blasphemous Edict. As you get into higher and higher levels of play, we either have to be going really fast, such that board wipes are like true, my deck is shit itself. And if we're not going that fast, our interaction should not have the potential to blow our own butthole off, which we currently have. Very cute. Very cute. Theft is adorable. Cute! I like it. I will try to let you keep it. You probably got to go for better tutors. I'm going to be so real. You talked about, do I just need to like let myself be mean? Yes, you must change your relationship with how mean you think it is to play good cards. If anything, it's mean to not meet these people on their level. It's condescending. Think about it from the perspective of like a Dragon Ball Z fight, and you're refusing to go Super Saiyan. And you're like, but I want to be fair. You would be the rude character. Just food for thought. Now, if you can't do it because your LGS doesn't allow proxies, then like, yeah, work with what you got. But one of the questions you asked in the primer was like, do the gloves need to come off? And like, yes, 100% the gloves need to come off. And by the gloves need to come off, I mean you have to burn Venser's journal in a fucking fire. Another thing, as we move from brackets 2 to 3 to 4, if you're not trying to win with life gain, last point's what matters, dog. Don't try to be gaining this life. If you're worried about like, oh, but people are like hitting me too early, slam another board wipe in that bitch. Even if it's not a board wipe, if you're getting like ankle bitten by token players, what if you couldn't reanimate your dog shit, Timothy? That's what I'm on. There's a ton of sweepers in red. There are a couple sweepers in black. Anytime you get scared of the token player doing too much damage to you, slam one of these bad boys in. Slam in more early interaction. Triple Triad's too cute. This is way too cute because you have to spend the mana, even though it's fixed. This is cute. I'm not convinced it's too cute, but it's pretty cute. Stone Cold, great card. Sure. Very cute. I'll try to let you keep it. Too cute, IMO. Too symmetrical. IMO. This is probably one of the cards that's tricking you into playing bad life gain cards, and is something that would probably be left behind to get a successful bracket 4 deck going. Uh, I don't like this because it is opponent dependent for the most part. Like, we're not going to be casting the 4 instants or sorceries for this, so I would cut that as well. Jesus God, no. No. You can try to keep this one. I still don't think it's good enough because, again, we're comparing. A thing I like to do a lot is compare your best pieces with your middling pieces with your worst pieces. Start from the bottom, cut out the bad cards for cards that support the good cards. So rather than have Palace Siege, which is probably going to require 10 to 15 upkeeps to kill the table, throw in another tutor for uh, mechanized production. Throw in a counterspell to protect mechanized production. Throw in a piece of removal to stop the person who's trying to win on turn 3 from winning. Throw in another piece of evasion, card draw, ramp, whatever. But what normally has to happen is the stuff you keep has to be really good at its job. You can't keep a lot of guys that are just okay at their job as we get to the higher brackets. Sure, this is pretty hateful. I I worry about this because black is a decently represented color in higher power magic, and so I doubt it's as effective as you think it is. Fucking cute as shit. Cute as shit, and at bracket 4 you can steal some good stuff. Okay. Now that we've seen another one with ill-gotten inheritance, I think I'm getting the picture. What you are hoping to do is not only get to Obeka, get to evasion, get to protection, and get to a synergy piece. You are hoping to get Obeka, evasion, protection, and multiple synergy pieces. That is what this seems like to me. It seems like we are doing a lot of these budget options that do very, very little damage on the presumption that we're going to be able to resolve 3 of them. Because once we have ill-got inheritance on the field and Palace Siege, and where's that other one I was bitching about earlier, and subversion on the field. Whoo, doggy! You know, you don't have very many upkeeps until you die. And that is that is a bracket 2 mindset. For bracket 3, bracket 4, what we have to be on is if I have Obeka, 1 payoff, and 1 trick in hand, I can try to win with that. That's where our energy has to be. And the trick in hand can be like a thing that buffs her damage by a lot. This would be, I don't even think this would work. It's just the first thing that came to my mind. That's pretty funny. I don't think you currently make the mana to do this for a shit ton, but like somebody chump blocks and you just go, okay, too bad. All right, too bad, as many upkeeps as I can fit in my fucking mouth. Who cares about the free cast card? But maybe you get the synergy piece you need too. Like maybe you go, all right, it's turn 5, turn 6. I have 7 mana available. I swing Obeka. I dump all 7 into this. She gets +5. They blocked with like 1/1, so 5 tramples over. I free cast a court, take 5 upkeeps. Maybe put together a game win. That is where we have to be. So you can do, if you want to stick with, if we need budget options, because this is very, very cheap for a bracket 4 deck, you could look into red and blue cantrips. So when I say that, I'm thinking of things like Shadow Rift, because this would at least replace itself and it would make Obeka unblockable. It's not as attractive as something that is going to stick around forever, but this is what we would do instead of going out and spending like $50 on a vamp tutor, spending however many dollars on like a fierce guardianship on a force of will. These are the, balsa wood and fucking glue, and we're doing the MacGruber energy. Dominus of Fealty is really cute, but because we're not getting extra combats, Like I think the heart of this is you've built this Obeka deck to have 10 to 15 weird cards that care about upkeeps and are very fun for you. If you want this to compete at bracket 4 well, it's going to have to go down to the 5 to 10 cards that are good, that win with very few extra upkeeps, and then you have to support them, interact with your opponents, and protect Obeka very, very well. And that will close the distance. So the ones that I think are goof juice are Call to the Kindred. I can't imagine what we're flipping. Bloodgift Demon, that's kind of cute. Blood Tyrant. Dominus of Fealty. Duskmantle Seer. We should not be feeding people additional cards at this bracket. Endless Evil, because it's not gonna. Oh well, we could copy something good on someone else's board. I think this could like sideboard. You maybe come back in if you make all these changes and the deck is like working better, then you can try to risk it. Enslave. Exalted Flamer of Zench. We're not going to get enough instant sorceries in our graveyard. Fountain of Renewal. Galvanoth. That's really cute. I want to let you try this one. I have a little bit more hope for this one. It's very pip restrictive. Grave Researcher. I'm kind of fucking with the shrines, honestly. Like Knight's Reach, yeah. Knight's Reach, you get some extra upkeeps, and you fucking say, "Hey, everybody, discard 2, discard 3." I'm actually rocking with that. Ill-Gotten Inheritance, Midnight Banshee, Palace Siege, Riversong's Diary, Patient Rebuilding. You can try to keep this one because it at least draws cards, but it's really expensive to not get you closer to a game win. Staff of Nin, Spawn of Mayhem, Ruinous Powers, Triple Triad, Venser's Journal, Subversion. Court of Ire, you can definitely keep. I don't like Kumena's Awakening. I don't think you're going to get enough permanence on the board, and the higher you go in brackets, the worse and worse it gets to give other people cardboard. I like Twilight Prophet. I'm actually okay with Thopter Spy Network. I'm actually okay with Tamio's Journal too. Yeah, so okay. Oh, this is the fucking maybe board. I hate Architects so much, dude. I swear to God. I swear to God, I'm so sorry. I wasted all that time. Okay. Let's see what payoffs we actually have. No wonder. I was like, there's so much in this deck. This doesn't make any sense. Okay. So, from the maybe board, definitely no on all those things. Actually, let's treat the maybe board this way. The maybe board is all the perfect stuff that should be in the bracket 2 version of the deck you build that uses treasures and shit. So in this one, I don't think Court of Antris is good enough. Maybe, but I don't think it is. Masterful Replication is definitely not good enough. I think you're trying to combine this with mechanized production. I think it's too up its own ass. Production is, as we talked about, Fall Cost is okay. The Haste Enabler, it's very greedy, but people get away with a lot of greed. I like Ambition. I hate Subversion. Inspiring Refrain's not good enough. This should just be some type of tutor. You're trying to win the game with a relatively compact package, so this should be like I anything. Diabolic tutor. But you're not really trying to win the game by having a preponderance of cardboard. You're trying to win the game by having like the 3 right cards. Like you need Obeka, you need the trick that gets you a lot of upkeeps, and you need the thing that turns a lot of upkeeps into dead people. You are not trying to value grind with Obeka. If you are coming at this deck from a position of I'm going to build up a snowball of upkeep effects, I think you are coming at it from a great bracket 2 position, an okay bracket 3 position and a terrible bracket 4 position. You are trying to assemble a gun very quickly under the table and then go bang, bang, bang. Don't love Paradox Haze. Again, I think that's again more of a like, oh, I'm gonna value grind you with upkeeps, which is not what we should be on. God, this one's so stupid. I love it. Don't like this one. Don't give people the option. Don't get, again, we are a combo deck, effectively. You are a Grixis combo deck. Your combo is just weird and funny. Don't give people the choice to exile your combo pieces. Do like Dark Confidant. Lose a bunch of life. Who cares? If anything, this is what will make your deck have a responsible enough mana curve. You should be able to win before Dark Confidant kills you. If you can't, problem with deck. Like if you have any payoffs that cannot kill your opponents faster than Dark Confidant's killing you, bad payoff. Need be better payoff. And then stop letting people draw cards, man. You can't do it. That's bracket 2 behavior. You can get away with it in bracket 3. Bracket 4, hard stop. Stop fucking doing it. We talked about protection racket. So way fewer cuts than when I looked at your whole maybe board, but that will allow us to either bring in more tutors so that we have an easier job finding our evasion. We can bring in counter spells. We can bring in instant speed tricks like Duelist Flame. Let's go to the tagger on this and see if there's anything hot. Let's go gives. Go combat trick. Gives trample. We're not going to do Embercleave. Fists of Flame would be +2/+2 in trample. Ooh, Siege Smash. That's phenomenal. So this is another way to get around like, oh my god, I need evasion and I need protection. Or you need one card that you just hold in your hand until you go to the declare blockers step, and then people think they're safe because they blocked you with 2 1/1s, and you go, actually, I will get my 3 upkeeps, thank you very much. Like Monstrous Rage. Like there's a million of these. Run Amok too. So I would dig through this O tag to find the best ones. It's unlikely that I'm gonna find the best ones just like in 2 minutes here, but I would be here before I would be here. I would be figuring out, okay, how can I at instant speed lock up this win now that I have this synergy piece on board, rather than being like, how can I get more things that are valuable on upkeeps? How can I like get upkeep redundancy? Reframe your mindset to, I am a combo deck. My combo is just weird and silly. So anybody in the comments, if you have suggestions for this, please let me know. And I do hope this helps. Hold on. Well, you probably go down on lands and put in more fast mana. Where's all our ramp? Sorry, I thought I was done. We're not quite done yet. Right. Oh god, this was terrible. So not ramp, or let me redefine this as effective ramp for the thing you want to do, which is cast 4 and 5 mana commanders and synergy pieces. Not ramp, not ramp, not ramp, not ramp, not ramp, not ramp, not ramp. So 7 of your 12 things don't do very much until we already have the train going. Whether you're bringing in talismans, whether you're bringing in signets, whether you bring in game changer mana rocks, like whatever it is, the ramp has to be stuff that gets you to casting Obeka earlier or gets you to casting the synergy pieces earlier, not stuff that makes you a bunch of money because you've already successfully done that. You're getting ahead of yourself. And that is where I will end it. I hope this helps.